Hey guys, Ishan here with a quick little video to kind of give you guys some information on Season 1 going into signups because the rulebook's not ready just yet. Just making sure to get all those niche specific details right before we get it out because we don't want to let you guys down with that rulebook. We want to make sure everything's right, everything's up to date, and everything is foolproof for the most part. So, just putting out this video to give you guys some information going into signups, going into Season 1, so you're not signing up going in blind. So first of all, like I said, rulebook coming out in a few days. Should be out. My guess is Sunday, but don't take my word for it. Could be a little bit later, could be a little bit earlier. Who knows? Draft day. We do have a day for that. Pretty much set in stone, unless for some reason we don't get enough signups by then. And that's going to be either January 9th or 10th, potentially both. And we do have some exciting things planned for production for that, so make sure to stay tuned. Game days, as you guys have seen in the poll right above this message, most likely. They're going to be Saturday and Sunday at 8 p.m. EST. These days won out the votes in the poll and announcements as well as in the interest form. So clearly the favorites here. Most people are able to play and want to play on these days, so that's what it's going to be. For season length, ideally it's going to be a 5.5 week regular season with playoffs. Interesting things to be said about playoffs coming later in this slideshow. But this is all assuming that we do get 12 teams, and I'll talk more about that later in this presentation as well. Draft format. So if you guys played Season 0, then you're probably relatively familiar with this. You probably understand what you're getting into here. Draft is 3 tiers. The point value range is roughly 1 to 50. More accurate might be 5 to 50. So it's pretty large range of point values here. Tier draft order is tier 1, then tier 3, then tier 2, tier 1 being highest, of course. You get 3 players in tier 1 and 4 players in tiers 3 and 2. Draft order is a modified snake just to add some extra balance because there's an odd number of tiers, an odd number of players per team, which means an odd number of draft rounds, etc. Makes it kind of hard to balance with just a normal snake, so there's a bit of a modified snake here. And draft order is random. Again, ideally, like I said before, ideally, we end up with 12 teams of 11 players, which is 132 total players. This is a lot of players for Season 1, so I really appreciate you guys spreading the word about the tournament, getting the word out. I think it's going to be a really exciting, really fun tournament. For those of you not familiar with the format, all ELOs are allowed, any ELO range, and there's no game requirements. So anyone can sign up for this tournament. For regular season format, again, for those of you not familiar with this tournament, you may not be as familiar with this system, but it is 2 days a week that this tournament plays on. Again, it's 11 players a team, so just because it's 2 days a week does not mean you're playing all 6 games a week. And on that note, days are 3 blocks. 3 blocks for regular season. 3 games a day. Again, you're not playing all 6 every week most of the time. You may occasionally, but in return you probably won't play 1 week. There's some flexibility here for scheduling, so that is nice. One really big thing we have coming into Season 1 is point-based standings with incentives. What this means, you may not understand what that means just off those words, but what this means is standings are not purely based off of win-loss. Win-loss is still king. Wins will still have the most weight, but standings are based off of a point value that results from win-loss and a variety of other things. For example, me personally, as well as several other people on the staff team, don't really like Fearless in a format like this because of the ability to constantly be swapping players. It makes Fearless less accurate for rosters and for series. So instead, for example, as one of the incentives here, at the end of the season, we'll count how many unique champions your team played across the season, and we may give you some extra points on your standings based off that. These points will be set in stone in the rulebook. They're not going to be variable. They're not going to be just up to our judgment. There's going to be set numbers that you can try to achieve. And yeah, there's plenty of other incentives as well. For example, high pointing actually loses you points. Going too high above your team's average point value. You may get points for win streaking. You may get points for upsets where you win at a point disadvantage. Stuff like that. You can get extra points here and there. Now, again, like I said, win-loss is still king. They're still going to be worth the most. If you're worried about people playing too much for incentives and making it into playoffs, for example, when they may not be the better team, they may have not got as much wins. From the numbers we've run and the estimates we've made, most likely there will be one standing flip here and there between teams that are only 1 win apart, maybe 2 wins apart in extreme circumstances, but it shouldn't shake up the standings to an extreme amount to where there should be any concern there. There will be minimum and maximum games as well for each player, so each player will be able to play a good amount throughout the season. Trades will also be allowed. The specifics of that I'm not too sure about yet, but once the rulebook comes out in a few days, you'll have more information there as well. For our playoff format, I also think we're doing something pretty interesting here. There's going to be 2 stages in playoffs. The first stage is the top 8 teams. Again, assuming assuming we get 12 teams. The first stage is going to be an 8-team Swiss bracket with best of 5s until eliminations, where it's best of 7s. For those of you who don't know who Swiss bracket is, it's where you play the team with the same record as you in the Swiss. So, for example, 8 teams go into the Swiss bracket. They all start 0-0. They play. There's now 4 1-0 teams and 4 0-1 teams. The 1-0 teams play each other. The 0-1 teams play each other. If you get 2 wins, you advance to the 4-team bracket. If you get 2 losses, you're out. So now, there's 2 teams that have advanced, 2 teams that have been eliminated, and 4 teams in the middle at 1-1 that will now all play for the last 2 spots. So yeah, I think Swiss will be very interesting, and it'll be, again, best of 5s, except for when you're 0-1 or 1-0, where it'll be best of 7s. Now, these 4 teams that advance will play in a standard 4-team semifinals bracket that is all best of 7s. For more information as well on this best of 5 format, which will also be adapted to best of 7s, I think this is a very interesting format that encourages really close series that go the distance pretty consistently. I would check out our Season 0 rulebook. There's more information on that, or you can wait till the rulebook comes out for Season 1, and there'll be information there as well. Additionally, we are still in talks about potentially doing a gauntlet for Seeds 7 and 8 as kind of a way to encourage teams to really just fight for the end, or fight till the end and try to get into the playoff spot, because you're never really out with the gauntlet. So yeah, that's all I have for you for now. This was just a short info dump, kind of give you some information going into Season 1 and Season 1 signups, some of the exciting things we're doing. There's still a lot more that I could have told you that I didn't just yet and won't even be in the rule book, but some very, very exciting things coming for the FBDL that I hope you guys will get to see. I hope you guys will sign up and get to participate in. If you have any questions, I prefer you ignore that 3rd bullet point, but I put it there because I know some of you guys are going to do it anyway. But would very much appreciate it if you have any questions. Open a ticket, ask in the questions channel if you want other people to see the answers as well. As a last resort, you can ping me or another admin somewhere or DM us. But preferably the first 2 bullet points. Alright, well, everyone, thanks for watching if you got this far. Hope to see you in that sign up list and in Season 1.